I just also wanted to compliment Prince George's County on another area. One of my other hats literally is to be the chair of the School Safety Commission, and I had an opportunity to review your application for grant funds, and I would have to say it was one of the most thorough applications that we received. And what I thought was most effective in your application were the number of trainings that you were doing for parents. It wasn't that you wanted to spend money on additional hardware for this and that. It was putting the efforts into training with young parents, training with your school staff, and I was very impressed with it, as were the rest of the subcommittee members. So just wanted to take that opportunity to compliment you on that.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Mr. Owano? So let's see. Pastor Phillips hasn't gone yet, so I'm going to let him have a first round. Then we'll come back for second questions from people who've already spoken.
Thank you for your transparency and all of your efforts to make a quick turnaround. Moving forward, are there any concerns with obstacles that you might find in your timeline implementation?
No, we actually sat down together to look at the timeline. And so what we presented to you, to Dr. Salmon and to the board, we believe is realistic. It's what we know that we can accomplish. I do want to also be transparent is that I look at having an external entity come in to review our work as a plus. And so I did, in my conversations with Alvarez and Marcel, say that I would be willing to engage in an additional review after we've had a full year of implementation. It's important to note we had just 6 months, and look at what we were able to accomplish in 6 months. But I'm believing that with a full year, that we'll be able to do more, because I want to make sure that I share with our community the great work that we're doing. And the best way to do that is to have an external evaluator come in and to validate the work that we're doing.
Mr. Owano and then Dr. Green.
Yeah, so as a student, again, thank you for the hard work that you've done, and definitely I've noticed the impact, especially when talking to my peers. And I think that something that a lot of teachers and also students, their concern is, what does their diploma mean at the end of the day, and how valued is the teacher's work going to be? So I'm definitely glad that we're seeing more transparency, and also that we're working to maintain the standard of what it means to graduate from Prince George County and the state of Maryland. And additionally, this year I had a more personal problem at school, and Dr. Golson was able to help me out a lot. So definitely thank you for your work, and also being available as a resource to the students.
You get that plug in. That's right.
Of course, you give that attention to every one of your students. Right?
Exactly. That's transparency at its best. I'm a product of Prince George's County Public Schools, and so the meaning of that diploma is important to me because it meant a lot to me. And so last year we lost our students in this conversation. And I am committed to making sure that we don't lose that focus this time, because they spent a lot of time and effort in making sure that that diploma was valued, and we created a situation that made them put that into question.
I just want to mention that I see a lot of the emails back and forth between Dr. Goldston and other parents and students. She does give that kind of attention to everybody. So it's not just Bryce, although I'm glad, I'm glad that she was able to fix your problem.
Dr. Green.
Dr. Goldston, I retired from Prince George's County Public Schools. And I came during a part of my tenure under one of your predecessors. Prince George's County school system was nationally renowned. Other states sent their teachers to Prince George's County to find out what we were doing and how we were doing it. I sincerely hope that the turnaround is coming, where people will begin again to be coming to Prince George's County to find out the success stories that you have, a wonderful turnaround. So I congratulate you on your new position and wish you the best of success.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Any other comments? I'll wrap up by just saying how impressed I am with the two of you here today.
Thank you.
I'm not sure how to put this exactly, but it says a lot to me as somebody who's tries to be a leader among to see the leaders sitting there answering all the questions. You don't have a phalanx of 12 staff members next to you that you have to turn to answer every question. That tells me that you are highly engaged in the process, that you know what your staff is doing, that you've set a high expectation for them, and you hold them accountable because you know the answers to the questions. Not that the people behind you aren't your right and left hand men and women who are doing the work, but your engagement in this process is obvious to me. And I think that shows, you can delegate authority, but you can't delegate responsibility. Mm-hmm. And the extent to which you are so clearly engaged shows that you've really embraced that. Something you said before, I wrote down, you said that you think that your grading and accountability system is among the best in Maryland, and I would almost guarantee that that's true. Not only because of the seriousness of purpose that you clearly bring to addressing this, but because your county has been scrutinized in a way that none other has. And it's clear that you really believe what you said, that the external look that you've had and that you're inviting more of is a plus, because that's about doing right by kids. And I think the task for this board is to take the lessons that have been learned through this experience and through your leadership and think about what things we need to do to make sure that the system of accountability and grading that you say is now among the best in Maryland, and make sure we expect that of all 23 other LEAs. Because the diploma means a lot to you as superintendent. It means a lot to me as well, because on that diploma it doesn't say Prince George's County, it says State of Maryland. And I don't care if it's an inner city child in Baltimore, if it's a student with disabilities in Hancock, or an Appalachian student somewhere way out in Western Maryland. That diploma has to mean the same thing for every student who walks across a stage in the state of Maryland. And that's our responsibility. And I think you've given us a great example of how we should approach that task with seriousness. So I want to thank you for the example that you've set for all of us.
Thank you. I do want to say that I do have some of my staff here, but they're here because I wanted to share with you the level of importance and urgency that we will continue to take for grading, graduation, and attendance.